The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Damn, Jermaine. If we don't have enough issues with self-discipline and me trying to get in here and actually take up for y'all, you have to go and slap some girl out on the football field, man. Now, granted, there's probably some extenuating circumstances going along with this that probably led up to all this. Jermaine's probably not a bad guy. But we're going to talk about it. Guys and gals in sporty land, this is the OCF, the Outlaw of College Football. That's JPC, that's Jesse Paul Clark on Facebook, spelled Jesse without the I. Also at OCF Productions on Twitter. I'm trying to say a little bit faster, see if I can't be an auctioneer one day. Might be a good career path. What do you think? As you can tell, I got me a nice little button-down shirt today. Went and done an interview today, so wish me luck on that. Trying to get me a little something on the side to go with this podcast. Oh, man. You know, I'm in here trying to take up for Alabama and all the horrendous officiating that went with that game. And then this comes out. Jermaine Burton basically slaps a female fan. It's on video for everybody to see. She looks like she's just videoing as regular. You know, she's trying to enjoy the moment. And he walks up and slaps the piss out of her. Now, normally I don't condone hitting a woman, okay? Unless they're trying to beat you with a bat or a stick or shoot you or something. Then you might have to get physical with them to save your life. But other than that, Jermaine really didn't have a reason to go up and slap this girl. But with the extenuating circumstances and the danger that a lot of those players were in, you can understand why he might be emotionally somewhat charged, especially with the way that game turned out and the way that it was officiated. You got to think, man. There's tens of thousands of people charging that field. And all these players have got to make their way through this stuff. And you can't tell me there ain't no Tennessee fans out there probably spitting on them, calling them names, harassing them, putting their hands on them, and whatnot. Because we all know Tennessee fans are the worst when it comes to attendance at football games. Now, a lot of people try to say it's LSU, but it's not. I've had numerous stories, horror stories about Tennessee fans. Hell, last year they threw a golf ball and mustard bottles at Lane Kiffin. And this is why you don't charge the field, too, by the way, because something like this will happen. You know, he had just gotten harassed by a few Tennessee fans, is already emotionally charged, and he sees this girl coming up, and then all of a sudden, paranoia sets in, and he wants them to get the hell away from him, so he slaps her away. Still shouldn't have touched her. But had they not charged the field, she never gets slapped. The goalposts never get tore down. Tennessee doesn't lose $250,000, whatever it is, the fines they ended up getting. Something bad's going to happen one day. And I know it looks cool, and I'm not trying to be old school or anything, because I used to think it was pretty cool, too, to see them charge the field. But as you start hearing about these horror stories of people getting stomped on and women basically getting fondled and almost raped out there on the field, something bad's going to happen. You can't tell me. I think Nick Saban's got like 3 or 4 security guys around him, some state troopers. But you can't tell me 3 or 4 state troopers could hold off tens of thousands of people if they decide to converge on Nick Saban and those 4 officers. And Nick Saban's, he's an elderly guy. So, you know, it could really hurt him. Kill him. I mean, in that situation. That's many people on the field. No room to really move or maneuver out of the way or get up if you fall down. It's going to have to stop. The NCAA once again, is going to have to show more teeth in these matters. And that way you don't have these situations where players feel paranoid and end up slapping somebody, or somebody gets hurt, or somebody gets killed. Because you've heard of it numerous times, like I think it was at the Wisconsin game where a bunch of students got stomped on. I think maybe 1 or 2 died or something. They're going to have more measures in place that really deter these people. And they may end up having to do like they do at soccer games and have a fence up around the field, man. Because some of these fan bases, they just don't know how to act or behave after they win because they, and I'm not trying to be mean, but sometimes they don't know how to act and behave because they don't win or beat teams that much. Certain teams, especially in Alabama and Tennessee's case, where it's been 15 years in a row. So I don't know what to say about it, to be honest with you. He shouldn't have slapped the girl, but at the same time, she shouldn't have been on the field. So the NCAA, in my opinion, if I had to lay down some kind of legislation, I would probably say $250,000 is just a drop in the bucket for these boosters, okay? And all these fans donate, making a mockery out of it. I would add more penalties at that point too. I'd say a $2 or $3 million fee would curb that shit a little bit. I mean, they might be able to do it one time, but after a while, even the boosters' pockets start getting thin. They also need to, like I said, they're going to have to put up a fence, man. And if them fans get on the field and they harm the opposing team, well, then there's going to have to be some kind of suspension for that team. Maybe, punish them by not allowing them to have as many home games next following year. I think that'd work. Like if Tennessee charges a field and one of the fans gets injured, or one of the coaches gets injured and hurt, or somebody gets killed, or like in Alabama's case, Kerry Good, who goes to all the games, well, not all the games, but he was at this game because his son coaches for Tennessee, and he has ALS, and he's in a wheelchair, and they poured beer on him. A guy in a wheelchair with ALS, and the Tennessee fans pour beer on him. Just like them bringing golf balls to hit Lane Kiffin. I can understand the mustard balls. They probably want to put mustard on a hot dog or something. But a golf ball? Really? You don't bring a golf ball to a football game unless you have ill intentions. You're just thinking to yourself, man, this golf ball's pretty hard. Probably hurt if I hit Lane Kiffin straight in the head with it because of what he done to us. He left us after 1 year, that kind of shit. But, yeah, they're gonna have to do something about this charging the field stuff. They're going to have to make it more of a deterrent. And I think a good deterrent would be, first of all, more money, and second of all, take some of their home games away from them in the next following seasons. Like next year, maybe Tennessee had 6, 7 home games. Take about 3 or 4 of them away. Make it to where they only have 3 or 4 home games. They do it again, take more away, to the point where they had to play all road games if their fans are not going to act accordingly and act the way they're supposed to, like normal human beings. And that's all I got to say about that. I'd like for you guys and gals to tell me what you think about this situation. Also, there's a heart right here. It says thanks. Please click on that. Get me off the YouTube teat. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.